Peace and love, you all. Today we're going to be talking about how to stalk yourself. So let's all take a deep breath in together. Thank you. So when we talk about stalking yourself, we're talking about spending time with you and tapping into your behaviors, your thoughts, your actions, your reactions, your responses, your strengths, your weaknesses, your calling, your purpose. There's a whole compilation that creates our beings, and we need to tap into that so that we can know how to maneuver throughout this dimension in this space and time. We spend so much time talking about other people's flaws. We spend so much time giving other people's words. Well, we spend so much time letting other people's words have power over us, other people's opinions to control us, other people's illusions or their own standards or values or morals that they feel fit for them and trying to impose them upon us. And we get trapped in this box of confinement. And then in that box becomes just darkness, and we start losing pieces of ourselves and have no idea who we are. That's why so many people wake up one day and feel like, where in the world have I been all these years? What have I allowed in my life? How did I get here? You know? And it's because most of us don't spend time stalking ourselves. And it might sound like a negative connotation to say to stalk, but it is to really just to pay attention to you, and not in a way that makes you boastful or prideful or makes you feel like you're better than or superior or anything like that. And it's not about forgetting about, how interdependent this dimension is, how interdependent the universe is. It's not about learning how to be selfish. It's not about, catering all to your ego. It's about looking at you so that you can find what it is that you came here to do and do it. Find out what your roadblocks are, what your obstacles are, what your challenge is, and how you're challenging other people, how the very existence of you is challenging other people to bring their greater selves. Find out what you're resisting and how you're resisting, and what causes you to be triggered, what causes you to feel joy, so that you can harness that joy and manifest that joy in so many different directions. So when we're talking about stalking yourself, we're talking about self-awareness. Want to add to that?
Yeah, absolutely. So stalking yourself, at the core of it, is basically saying to learn how to be present and situate your energy in your witness consciousness. Okay? Your witness consciousness is exactly what it sounds like. It is the silent observer and the watcher in your being who has no words, there's no other descriptive characteristics for it other than the watcher, the silent watcher. It's been called the observer. In ancient Kemet, aspect of it was known by the name of Amun-Ra, which means the hidden God. It's there, clothed in the veil of nature, permeating every atom, but it's essentially there just witnessing before creation and through creation, and to creation, back to the realization of self. The light of awareness and presence obliterates illusions. Okay? So it becomes fundamental for everybody that is a spiritual aspirant on their path to, at some point in time throughout the day and night, and really every day, and if you can strive for this every moment, is to be present with the self. And you are the self, you know. It's about understanding who you are in the core of your being. And what you're stalking is all of your vehicles. You're stalking your mind. You're stalking your emotional body. You're stalking your personality, who you think you are, who you think you'll become. And you're situated in the now. So stalking yourself is about being fully present with your awareness, not attaching yourself to your thoughts, not attaching yourself to your emotions, allowing them to be, but never actually identifying with them. We want you to think of stalking yourself as a clear sky with the sun shining through. The sun in this case would be your consciousness, or Ra, Amun Ra. Yet the thoughts that come up in your mind, they will come. And we want you to picture this as clouds. Just a mass of clouds coming by, sometimes blocking out the sun, and sometimes the sun shining through the clouds. We want you to see those as the thoughts in your mind. We want you to see the emotions as water that is just raging on. It's just the tide, the ebb and the flow of the wave. And we want you to see your physical nature as the earth below the water, okay? So the earth below represents your physical body, the mud. The water represents your emotional state. And the clouds represent your mind. What we want to do is to be able to situate our awareness at the point of a solar consciousness, which is to say, to see through the clouds. Let the light burst forth through the clouds. The light isn't the clouds, it bursts forth through the clouds. Sometimes the clouds distort the lights, your perception of the light. We want that light to burst through the clouds. We want that light to burst through the water. We want that light to burst through the earth. And in the inverse order, it's very much like how a lotus grows. The lotus grows deep in the mud, but it bursts forth through the mud, through murky waters, and comes out of the water into the sky. So it's essentially a flower or a principle of energy that sought the light. So metaphysically, your witness conscious is there incessantly observing, just witnessing and just observing. That's the only characteristics I'm going to give it. But we want you to understand that the light of awareness obliterates all illusion. Because once you situate yourself in this eternal state, in this infinite state of being, you'll be able to get a much better understanding of your existence in physical embodiment. We are divine energies encased within a physical form. We should never forget that we are just passengers. At a higher stage of the spiral, at a higher era in time, we won't even possess physical human bodies as we know it today. We might inhabit another type of body. And the same principle goes for the life force that's situated inside the mineral kingdom, transitioning on another spiral to the plant kingdom, transitioning on another spiral to the animal kingdom, transitioning to another spiral in the human kingdom, transitioning to an even higher spiral into the kingdom of souls, or that which we might call your angelhood or your angelic nature, okay? But the main thing here is that stalking yourself is such a crucial wordplay because you begin to realize that you are a predator, but not in the carnal, materialistic, or even just the animal kingdom sense. You are the divine predator that stalks itself and consumes its vehicles. You consume all the combustible energies within inside of your aura, and you allow those combustible energies that you perceive, all of your thoughts, all of your emotions, you allow these to become raw material for you to produce God realization. You should allow your body to serve the self. Time and space should serve the self. Your physical body is here to serve the self. Stalking yourself is essentially about establishing the firm rule of the spirit over matter. Okay?
Absolutely. I love what you said, especially about just the analogy of the sun coming through all of that. Because it really hones in onto all the things that we have to get through to get to the core of who we are.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? To remove ourselves from all these labels, remove ourselves from all of our, our traumas, our hurt, our pain, and all of that thing, just to get to the nitty gritty.
Right, exactly.
of who we really and truly are, the true self.
Exactly.
And it's so important because until we start to do that type of work, the messages that we need to receive, the ability to elevate into higher consciousness becomes null and void.
Exactly.
We have to get through those things, and as we start to learn, or gain more knowledge on different topics, and learning how to utilize things like the law of attraction and stuff like that. When we start to gain that type of knowledge and we haven't done the work that it needs to take, and we haven't done the type of work that we're talking about, people utilize the knowledge through control and manipulation and domination, and start falling into the categories of greed and envy and just all jealousy and all these different types of basically destructive behaviors, because they haven't done the work, the shadow work that it takes in going into self and seeing yourself and allowing yourself to actually evolve, so that as you're gaining this knowledge, as you're coming higher into your consciousness, that when you start to know more, you start to exude more beauty, you start to exude more joyfulness and blissfulness, and start to get more glimpses of God realization, self-actualization. And so that's why we feel like it's so important for all of us to learn how to see ourselves, and how important it is to build meaningful relationships with other people so that they can be your mirrors. Nothing is by chance. We all come in contact with one another so that we can tap into what it is that we need to see in that moment in time so that we can grow.
Exactly.
So we thank you. Unless you have something else.
No, that's pretty much it. All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in, gods and goddesses, kings and queens, and we really appreciate you taking out the time to share this sacred space with us, and again reflect on our eternal nature. Okay, bliss on bliss, family. We love you.
Love you.